Hi y'all. My past two videos have been me ranking albums that I like from my favorite song on it to my least favorite. But this go around, I'm doing something different. I just want to share my little concert story. This was the Amity Affliction tour that is, I don't know if it's over now or if it isn't. They gotta be wrapping it up. End of winter, spring 2025. I saw them at the House of Blues in New Orleans, and that was the first time I'd been to that venue. Really awesome venue. Everybody that I interacted with that worked there was super sweet. So I had listened to Unwell. That was the first band that went on. I listened to them before. Disclaimer, this is coming from someone who doesn't know anything about music, about writing music, about playing music and instruments, about being in a band. Like, I don't know goddamn shit, but from a person who doesn't know goddamn shit, hearing them, all of the songs that I listened to except for one sounded like Disney coded to me. It seemed like if Disney Channel had like a hot new show about some teens that want to start a metal band at their school, but nobody believes in them. And then through the power of friendship and music, everybody, you know what I mean? That's what it sounded like, the opening song to a show on Disney Channel with that vibe. It wasn't my vibe, but I've been known to have poor taste. And again, like, I don't know anything about writing. I could not do a better job than them, but it wasn't my speed. It wasn't my vibe. That was just my first impressions, except for the one song, which I think was like their most recent release, some single that I don't remember the name of. I don't know when they started. They seemed super young, not just physically young, but young as in like a newish band. Like, they haven't really done iterations of things and settled into themselves. They just seemed like, we've been a band for like 2 years and people listen to us, so we're just gonna keep singing. Instead of like, oh, this is like a really thoughtful, refined, practiced thing. But I don't know shit. There's a thing for everybody. People liked them. There were people there for them specifically, so it just wasn't my vibe. And they were less Disney sounding live, but of course, like, live music is just great. I'll listen to shit music live and have the time of my life. I hope that they keep refining their sound, and 20 years from now, I hope they're still playing shows and they look back and they go, oh yeah, we were so young then. That was my only comment about them. It seemed like they were having a lot of fun. It seemed like the crowd was having a lot of fun, and that's about it for Unwell. The next band was Many Eyes, and I think in their bio, it's like a member or members of some other band. I didn't re-look up anything, okay? This is from memory that is not very good in there. When I was listening to their music before the show, it also was not my vibe. It's somebody's vibe. It's just not mine. I listened to their music and was like, yeah, okay. I'm not skipping every song, but I'm not really paying that much attention to every song. It's just not something I super gravitate toward. But I'm not gonna be like, God, do we have to listen to this if it's all, you know what I mean? Live though, they were so much better. And because they're more experienced musicians, the like crowd engagement, it wasn't necessarily like, oh, we're like talking to the crowd, but it was like certain showy things and just the way that they would play their instruments that got everybody a little more riled up. Like, you could just tell that they were more experienced musicians. I don't really have any other things to say other than it was good, but it wasn't my vibe, but they're good at what they do, and I hope the best for them, you know? So the next band that went on after Many Eyes was Hail the Sun or something. I've never really heard of them before, but I thought they were pretty good. There wasn't that much that was memorable from their set though. Like, they kind of just got out there and played and it was fine. And I'm absolutely kidding because I fucking love them. And I only went there to see them. This was my like 6th time seeing them so far in the lineup. When I was pre-listening to everybody, Unwell didn't seem like they should be touring with Many Eyes, who didn't seem like they should be touring with Hail the Sun, who didn't seem like they should be touring with the Amity Affliction, who didn't seem like they should be touring with Unwell, and just like around and around and around. It seemed, and I don't know anything. It seemed like 4 different bands that would never ever ever go on tour together, but maybe they would. And I don't know how to explain it. Unwell seemed like the people that responded the most to them were like really young, but then for Many Eyes, it seemed like there were different types of people that really resonated with them. Many Eyes left everybody like just like high, you know? And then Hail the Sun got on, and for the first song, everyone was into it. I said, The crowd was into it for Maladapted, and then Parasitic Cleanse really threw everybody off. Any time signature switches, or I don't fucking know terms, but any unpredictable qualities that's in Hail the Sun's music that I really admire and I really like is not the best for when most of the people at the show don't know who they are or don't know the vibe. Because if they're playing with like other mathy, experimentally people like know to expect it, then that's I think is great. But this specific lineup just felt disjointed for me. People tried to be in it, and then like the millisecond that there was something that was a little off tempo or time signature wise, everyone was like, oh my god, what do I do? What if that happens again? And so like the rest of their set, it was just me jumping, and then occasionally people would mosh along too, but it was nothing like most of the other Hail the Sun shows that I've been to, where people are just like going and going and going the whole time. I will say the Amity Affliction is a bigger band. I'm sure that they're taking this tour, they're going on this tour because they want to grow their audience as a band, but it just seemed, I don't know anything, I don't know them, but it just seemed maybe not the best fit lineup wise. But exposure is great. Like I saw people buy their merch and literally say, I don't know who this band is, but I liked them and so I bought a shirt. So like that's great. Yeah, Parasitic Cleanse threw everybody off a little bit and it took a while to get back on. There was one person that I saw that knew any words. It was some song from Divine Intertention. I was like I felt like, I know I wasn't, but I felt like the only person in the crowd that knew all the songs. I'm not the tallest person, so I couldn't like see many people around me that felt like they knew them. So I had fun. Put me in a fucking empty room and I'll have fun listening to them. I went back on like setlist dot whatever the fuck website, and I scrolled back until the last date that they were in Louisiana, and it was almost 7 years ago. So it was like 6 or 7 years since they've played the state at all, and what the fuck? That is such an issue for me. I'm one of those people that will be dramatic about needing to go to concerts. I need to go to shows in order to stay sane. And if I can't see my favorite bands live because they don't come to my state for 6 years, that's a fucking problem, right? Yeah. It was really fun. They were amazing. 11 out of 10 recommend Hail the Sun. And then after them was the Amity Affliction, and I've heard their name a billion times. In my concert years, listened to bands very adjacent to them or toured with them, but I never got into them myself. So I was kind of going in a little blind. And they're fine, but I think that they're great. They're not just fine. They're amazing. They're awesome, I think. I don't know anything about them. But I had my own like collection of artists that I listened to that were similar enough to them that when I was listening to them before the show, I was like, oh, you just sound like a bunch of other bands that I listen to, and there's nothing really more unique or more different than what I'm already listening to. I guess that's why I never got into them. I honestly was like so tired after Hail the Sun. I was gonna leave, but I've never like left before a show is over. So I felt like that was kind of sacrilegious. So I wasn't that into the Amity Affliction, but I pushed myself to stay during their set. And I was just hanging in the back. But then there were a lot of like dude bros with their girlfriend that were like, I want my personal bubble. And I was like, I'm not trying to break your personal bubble. And literally leaning up against the trash can in the very back. I'm not near your girlfriend. And they just seemed very like scary. So I just went into the crowd because it seemed safer and more fun. But they were good. I stayed through the majority of their set, and I think I left like a couple songs before they ended. Or I just went and sat out where the merch was because I wanted to kind of beat the crowd for merch. Didn't need to because no one was lining up at the Hail the Sun booth anyway. Y'all bitches don't know what you're missing out on. I mean, the Amity Affliction is like clearly very practiced. They've been around for a while. So it was a great show. Like it was very fun, even for someone who didn't know any of their music, and everyone seemed really into it. So yeah, I closed my tab at the bar, and the bartender was so sweet. Usually, okay, I'm done talking about the bands and I'm just talking about random other shit. Usually bartenders hate, my go-to is I walk up and I say, can I have just like any beer? Like whichever one, just any beer, just a beer. And they fucking hate when I do that. But this guy was like, oh, okay. Most people are like, what do you like? And I'm like, I just want whatever you have. Like, what's your favorite beer? Or what do you have the most of? Or what is harder to sell? Like, I'll just try whatever you recommend. And some people are like, well, I don't like beer, so I don't know. And then some people are like, well, I don't know how to decide for you because I don't know what you like. And I'm like, I'm not going to be mad about it if I let you decide. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm letting you decide because I don't care, not to be weird. But this bartender was the best bartender I've ever had, or like had an interaction with. He just got me this one beer and was like, is this fun? And I was like, it's perfect. And then I drank that and I came back for another one and he was like, is this one good? Do you want another like mystery beer? And I was like, yes, I do, thank you. So I drank those, great, and went to close out my tab and he was like, you're such a sweetheart. You know, I wish we had more adventurous beers. I wish we had more people that come in and ask to try things. Like, I love people who want to try things. And I was like, you're the sweetest bartender I've ever met. Yeah, so shout out to whoever that person was. Cherry on top of my little cool concert night. Everybody who worked there was amazing. Even the group of people that were doing the ticketing and line control was like super sweet. So, okay. I'm just bouncing around. Let me bounce around. So I closed my tab. I went back up to buy merch. I walked on over to the... I fucking ran. No, I pranced on over to the Hail the Sun booth. After everybody let out, there was this huge long line for the Amity Affliction, and there were 2.5 guys in line for Hail the Sun, and I was one of the guys. So I took that as an opportunity to like be really cringy and let myself fangirl out a little bit, which I always felt ashamed of. I always felt such shame about getting excited about my interests, but like, fuck that, you know? So I bought my shirt and the merch guy, is it Michael Meany? If that's wrong, I'm sorry. But the merch guy for Hail the Sun, I was like, can I ask you a really icky, sticky, awful, fangirly question? And he was like, yes. And I said, can you tell them to not wait so long to come back to Louisiana? And then, I don't know what he was expecting me to ask, but he seemed to just be like, oh yeah, I can tell them that. Like, I don't know what was going through his head. He was like, yeah, the boys really like it. I'll tell them that you said that, blah, blah, blah. But so I just let myself be a little chatterbox because I didn't think that I was holding up the line. If I was, it was only, I tried to talk very quickly and not take up too much time. Like I was saying, I've just felt so much shame about being a fangirl that I would never, past me, would be so ashamed to like even wear their merch to a show. Like that was like you don't wear the band shirt of the band you're going to see at the concert. That's icky. That's bad. It felt cringy, but it felt so freeing, and like I highly recommend that experience to just make a fucking like fangirl fool of yourself to the band. I don't fucking know. They don't get to see how much they improve my life by listening to them if I'm like trying to play it cool. So I was just like, I hope this guy goes back to the fucking bus after the show and is like, this really ugly, annoying chick. Like fucking begged. But I hope that having conversations like that and commenting things like that shows them that there are, despite being few and far between, there are Hail the Sun fans in Louisiana that want you to come, and I'm one of them. Yeah, that's kind of what I remember from that show. Hail the Sun. Don't watch this video, but like telepathically understand that I need you to not skip this state ever again. Ever again. Every single show. Come to Louisiana. A little overview. Fucking all the bands were awesome. All the people were awesome. Fangirling is freeing. Check out Hail the Sun. Tip your bartenders a lot. And have a great day. Not question mark. Have a great day. That's it. Okay. Bye.